Okay, welcome to today's podcast. We have Shruti with us, who's a pro badminton player, India number two.
Yeah.
Okay, nice. So let's just give us something that our listeners might not know about you. Something that a fun fact. We know that you're a pro badminton player,
Yeah.
but other than that,
So there was one point in my career
mm-hmm.
where, I was just done with badminton. I didn't want to play the sport anymore and I
Okay,
wanted to shift to another sport. I
okay,
wanted to start playing table tennis. I
good.
think partly because my brother used to play,
Okay,
but I think that was one thing that I wanted to do and I'd made up my mind. So I
okay,
went up to my mother. I was like, I want to stop playing badminton. It was just when I shifted school. So from St. Anne's, I was shifted to DPS.
okay,
So I was like, I'm done with badminton. I think I mustn't be doing that great that time, but I was like, I don't want to play. So she's like, okay, fine. I said, then she said, what will you do? I said, I'll study. I don't want to play. So every day religiously I has to come back from school, open my books
yeah,
and
yeah,
study and all. I was like, shit, we can't do this. This is
yeah.
not happening. Then just for fun, I used to go play with my brother. And I came back home after 2-3 days. I'm telling my mom, I want to play table tennis. She's like, are you out of your mind? I said, no, I'm done with badminton. I'm going to start table tennis now. She said, all my life I've given up everything for you to go play, take
Badminton.
you
Yeah,
every day. I've like almost given up my social life. You're not playing another sport.
yeah.
You want to play badminton, you play, you can stop. You don't have to play anything. And then I was like, no, this, that, everything. We used to have fights and all. Then one day she took me to my PT sir in school. He used to teach archery at that time. And then we used to just go for fitness to him at Kataria ground. So
Okay.
just generally go run everything. One day he sat with me. It's like, why don't you want to play? I said, I'm bored. I can't play the sport anymore.
Yeah,
I've played
yeah.
it for a very long time. I can't do it. He's like, okay, you give me 1 year. If you don't start winning, it's on me. You can stop.
Nice. Huh.
So then he actually got me to playing back. He used to follow my matches. He used to come with me for my matches, like not school, but outside school also. And then he used to follow my next opponent. He used to write down everything that this is her game, this is how you have to
And he
play.
wasn't a badminton
No,
coach.
he's an archery coach.
Wow.
And he
Okay.
was our PT sir in school.
Yeah. Yeah.
So he made sure that he took the responsibility and fitness was taken care of by him. So I would just go for practice then. And that next year I won the district title.
Amazing.
So then I had nothing to say. I was like, yes, sir, I want to play now. I will play. And that's how I, started playing again and like got, I think, a little more serious after that and more
Okay.
accountable for everything that I did after that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Amazing. And how old were you when you went up to your mom and said, "Badminton bus ata TT"?
15.
15.
I was 15, 14 or 15,
Yeah. And when
8th,
did you
9th
start
standard.
playing badminton?
So I just started very casually as a recreation at 6 years old.
Okay.
My dad used to play in his college times.
Okay.
So I started in Pune club.
Okay.
So one of his friend told him कि मेरा बेटा जाता है इधर आप भी इसको भेजो अच्छा है अच्छा fitness हो जाएगा. That's how I started, but I think I just held on to it. As a kid, I played a lot of sports. Like I would never sit in the house, go down play cricket with the guys. In school, play table tennis, play basketball. I've done fencing also
Wow.
at an
Okay.
inter-school level. So swimming I used to do. So that's how I started badminton, and I think that's how I fell in love with the sport, and I eventually have decided to make it my career.
Amazing. And like you said, you were 15 or probably 16 when you won
Yeah.
your first district
No,
competition.
I have won before that. It wasn't
Okay.
that I hadn't won.
Okay.
So I started when we used to play. There used to be under 7, under 10. So I've played under 7, under 10. I used to be winning on the district level, state level. Also, I was decent. I used to make it to the semis,
Yeah.
finals. I used to play.
And despite that, you wanted
Yeah,
to.
I was like, I'm just done. I don't want to play anymore.
yeah.
But then I was under 16 at the time, and I was a year younger. So not in also into my last year of under 16, and I had already won the district title at that time. And I was like, that's when I thought, ki, okay, we have it in us. We just need to,
Correct.
take the right path and do it the
Yeah,
right way. Yeah.
And I feel every athlete at some point in their career finds that one person who pushes them beyond what they think they're capable of.
Absolutely.
Like you said,
Absolutely.
your PT sir.
In my school, when I was so initially I was training with in Pune club with Suresh Sarani. He was a great coach, but that extra that I needed or something more that I
Correct,
needed, the push
correct.
that I needed, is what I got from Ranjit sir in school. And then later, due to 10th standard, the traveling was too much. I shifted. I came to Varun sir.
Yeah.
So since then, I think because the main reason I am playing till today is just probably him.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
that support system I've had throughout, be it in, be mental fitness, strength and conditioning, everywhere, I've really been very lucky to get very good people with me along the way, who have just tried to push me to my limits always.
Correct, correct. And you mentioned like you had a sports coach, like a strength and conditioning coach. You have a sports coach. You had support and mental training.
Yeah.
So, like, how important is it to have this entire support system, especially when you choose to go pro?
That is one of the main things that you should have if
Yeah.
you want to play professionally. Doing everything by yourself is very difficult.
Correct.
And with the level of competition and the number of people playing the sport, it's become very competitive. So, you can't take all the burden on yourself. And more than the game, I think it's more of a mental battle these days that if you're not mentally there, you're not fit,
Correct.
it doesn't matter how good you play.
Correct.
You're just going to have some ups and downs
Yeah.
throughout. And to get through, I think a complete team is very important. Even say you need to have a physio.
Yeah.
A
Yeah.
physio, a strength and conditioning, your coach, your trainer, a mental coach. You have to have the complete team, without which I think it's very difficult for one person to do everything,
Yeah,
or
yeah.
just do it by yourself.
Yourself.
It does not work out.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think you also coach part time.
Yeah.
So, do you suggest your students and your players, at what age do you suggest them to kind of start going for mental training or have like a specific strength and conditioning coach for badminton?
So, not everybody wants to pursue it like 100% professionally, but say if they are, decent at say 12, 13, I think till 13, 14, you're good enough to manage by yourself. Like the mental part does not have to play in as much.
Yeah, yeah,
Strength and conditioning also, we're building into the basics at that time, so it still works. But I think as you turn 15, 16 is when I think, you should start having a complete team, or at least specific people for these specific
Correct.
these things, because not all kind of training will work for everyone
Yeah.
after you have built one certain level for yourself.
yeah, yeah,
So after that, the more specific you work, the more better it is
Yeah.
is what I feel.
yeah. And I think it's a great point that you got across, like getting more specific in a sport. Like usually what I've seen now that I'm training so many kids in strength and conditioning is parents want the kids to specialize very, very early.
Correct.
Like you said, you did fencing and you played TT and football and cricket,
Basketball, yeah.
basketball. And I think it's so important to do that when you're a kid because it
Yeah.
just develops an overall athletic ability.
Correct.
Do you think any of these other sports have kind of helped you become a better athlete in general?
So yeah, see, cricket got me, more into team spirit, team building.
Yep.
Fencing is more of like focus and being aggressive. Again, basketball is a team
Team.
sport. So of course, each game has its own attributes that helps you.
Correct.
And it's just what you pick from each of it, and how you, combine all of it for
Yeah.
your own benefit
Yeah,
is
yeah.
very important.
Yeah.
Is the main thing.
And nowadays, parents just, 6-year-olds, they have to win nationals. 7-year-olds, they have to
Yeah.
become international players. And
It's not possible. I mean, they're just 6, 7. Even I say at 10, 12, it's tough.
Yeah,
Some
yeah.
of them do it. I will say they're God gifted and, really blessed and lucky and talented.
Talented, yeah.
For those who are actually doing that well at 12. But then there comes a point when, they're doing so good at 12, 13, 14. As they reach 17, 18, 19, when they really have to peak at that time in the seniors, or,
Correct.
perform they are at a very mature level at that time. That's when they either tend to be very injured or they just give up because they've done so much before.
Correct. Like
They're
from the
just
age of
too
6 up to
overworked.
18, like the first 12 years of your sport,
Yeah.
you're just focusing so hard
Yeah.
that you just burn out
Yeah,
by the
burn
time you
out.
even get into the open
Correct.
category.
Yeah, and I feel that open is the main thing.
Yeah,
You do well
yeah.
17, 19, it gives you a booster, yes. But the overwork that is
Yeah.
happening is a lot. There is no balance, and parents want their children to win everything, every tournament they play. And it's not, and they want them to do well in academics.
Given the extra competition in the sport
Correct.
also,
Yeah.
and to manage all of these
All
things.
of these.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
with so many extracurricular activities also that they have, everything is become a competition
Yeah,
now. Like
yeah.
even if it's drawing, it's a competition.
Yeah.
You go for these kids go to something called like a phonics class these days.
Okay.
So it's I think just maybe pronunciations
Yeah,
or
yeah.
something, I don't know. That also has an exam.
Wow. Okay.
That also has an exam.
Yeah, yeah.
Abacus fine, like you learn that that's still later. But
Hmm,
these 6, 7, 8 year olds are like tomorrow we have an exam, we cannot come. I have to study. I said for what? I said it's phonics. I said what is this? It's just a lot that the kids have to do. Dance, competition,
Competition. Yeah.
singing, exam.
Yeah.
Everything is just become very
Exam based.
competitive.
Yeah.
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 And another new thing that these kids do is just don't go to school. Open schooling.
Open schooling.
So like right from the age of like 6, 7, so they don't go to school at all. So there is no balance. It's
Yeah.
just to two extremes.
Yeah.
So it's very difficult, to make the parents understand, get a hold of them, get them, for them to take it that it's going to take time
Yeah.
for them to digest that. I don't know. It's really tough.
Correct. Correct.
Yeah.
I think it's the perspective also.
Correct.
Yeah, parents want the kids to do really well at an
Yeah.
early age,
Yeah.
and there is no thinking for like longevity.
Correct.
Whereas you want your kids to do better in the open category
Yeah.
and learn through 12, 14, and 16.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, what was your perspective when you started playing, and how did your parents kind of support you through the journey of when you started playing when you were 6?
6.
Yeah.
So-
So how did your parents kind of they just let you be, or what was that for you?
It's been a very mixed, journey to be very honest.
Okay.
But so I started because my dad was crazy about badminton. He played in a school, college, everything.
Yeah, yeah.
And that's how I started. My mom took the entire effort for the first 9, 10 years, take me every day, sit there for 2, 3 hours, bring me back, come back home, make me study, dinner, all that. But as I grew, one thing I think around 16, 17, I had decided that I want to play badminton. I can't study. It's not for me.
Okay.
I'll do whatever it takes, but whatever effort is needed, I'll put it. I can't study. And that time, this chair and core was all a new thing, no? So I was like, I can do 10 minutes chair, but I can't study for 10 minutes. That was the mentality that we had that time.
Yeah, yeah.
Like studying for 10 minutes is that boring. So initially, and that time the sport not being that big, my parents took me to tournaments, yes, but the mentality that when you're in the last year of that age group, we'll take you for all tournaments,
correct.
was which was followed with me for a very long time. So I started playing All Indias only when I shifted to Varun sir. So
Okay.
that was in like my last year of under 19.
Okay.
So until then, I was playing district, state, whatever happened in Pune, I used to play all. So that way, I was decent, like I was a known person. I mean, I was doing decently well. But my first Maharashtra team was in 2010. So that was like very overwhelming for me also. But then when I came here, a lot of things I got to know that this is how the sport is. This is, there is one level up. The national level is this big. It is
Yeah.
that competitive. But then by that time I was 17, 18, and then parents were like, what will you do now? I mean, we are far behind. You're not that impressive. We don't think you can do anything.
Correct.
But then another way, my dad was very supportive, saying, you do what you want. You want to play, you play. I'll see what needs to be done. Like my mother also, she didn't say don't play, but she was very concerned with results.
What's the option 2 then?
Study. You
Okay.
can go outside. They still tell me. Like,
Okay.
go
Even
outside.
now?
Even now.
Okay,
Even now.
okay.
Please go outside. Like, go. My sister's in the US.
Huh.
It's like, you can go to US, do something, go wherever you want, just study something. I said, I can't. Okay, you study something in the sport. I said, what should I go in the US and do with badminton?
Correct,
Like, it's
correct.
coming up fine, but initially, no.
Yeah.
So, still 18, 19, 20, every 6 months we sit down with sir. Like, sir, what is this? She's not doing anything. She's just working hard. She's not winning. But I was like, say, the last 7, 8 years, I've been in the top 10 in the country. But the final result that they wanted was a title,
Yeah.
which will not happen every time. District,
Correct.
I was good. State, I was good. Nationals, I used to do decent. Quarter semis, I had been playing. So it boiled down to that, always. And then I finished my graduation. It's like, now what are you going to do? You've just done BCom. I said, now what now? I'll have to do something for them to just let me play.
Yeah,
That
yeah.
was my thing. If I have to play, I'll have to study. So I picked up this correspondence course at Symbiosis. was like, okay, it's correspondence, we'll see. The books were like this,
Then-
8 books. I was like, shit, I can't do this. I studied French. I said, I can't do this. Like, I had done it in school, basics I knew, but like that much level, I said, I don't want to do anything in French. It just, nothing else just interested me that much as doing anything for the sport. So I would be ready to get up at 4 or 5, do everything. Like I was putting in the effort, but at some point, I always felt like, now I realize more of that was one fact that was lacking in me at that point was self-confidence. In practice, I would be too good. Tournaments also, I would be decent, but like just the switch that was needed, like 2-point shot, 3-point shot, was one reason for that. And then there's this opening at income tax when I was 22. I applied and then I got the job. Selection, I was like, I don't want to do. I told my parents, I'll have to go to job 10 to 5. When will I play? It's like, we'll manage, I'll help you. My dad was like, I'll support you, we'll quit if needed, this, that. I said, okay. I joined office 10 to 5. Practice used to be in the morning, that got hampered. After 5, it is impossible.
Yeah,
After sitting for all those long hours, it didn't. I tried to pull on for 2 years. One day I went home. I was like, Dad,
Done.
if you are not going to listen, I have made my resignation. 1 copy will be on your table tomorrow, 1 will go to the office.
Yeah.
If you don't want to support, because those years were my peak when
Correct,
I was
correct.
actually doing really well.
Yeah.
But it all started falling down because obviously not enough practice, not training, not doing anything. The results will not
And
come.
no recovery.
No recovery was not even considered at that time.
Yeah.
It wasn't a thing, I think, at that time. So I was like, and I was trying. Then one fine day, sir called my parents. Was like, what are you doing with your child's life? She doesn't want to do it. Why are you forcing her into it? This, that. Please, I will do something. We will figure something out. Ask her to quit. You tell her that you're okay if she quits. And that's how I quit, and then I started coaching and playing, and then things got slightly better. Then COVID happened.
Yeah,
And I was
yeah.
like, see, if you would still be working, you would
Yeah.
have got free salary. I said, oh my God, that is what I didn't want there. I had
Correct.
gone to office, convinced the people, work is not more than an hour every day. I'll come, finish it, let me go home.
Yeah.
You don't do any work, but you have to sit
Sit in
10
the
to 5. I
office,
said,
yeah.
it's not happening. I fought. I used to fight in the office. I was like, at least today they'll kick me out for speaking this way, that way. Nothing happened. It was just not working out. So I still kept playing tournaments because I was like, I want holidays from office. I can't sit here. But the performance obviously started dipping. Then I said, okay, you don't want to listen. I'll be more stubborn. I have to get out at 4 o'clock. Pick 2 kids some days. Every day I have to go play 4:30 to 5:30. And then they used to go to school. I follow my routine. I was like, okay, fine. Now at least I get to play a little. I think later my parents saw all of that and they realized, okay, she really wants to play. I think
Yeah,
we should
yeah.
just let her do what she wants. So that's how, and then now I think it's just pretty much better. Of course, they have their concerns on and off, but I think it's much better now that I'm doing what I want
Yeah, yeah,
and they're at peace with it.
yeah.
Yeah.
Nice. And now that you are not working in an office, what does your daily routine look like? How many hours of coaching? How many hours of playing? What do you do, like, if you have to
So-
break down your day?
Yeah. So my day starts at 5:30.
Okay.
4 days.
You wake up at 5:30.
5:15.
5:15,
So
yeah.
training for the kids starts at 5:45. So 4 days a week. That's Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and Saturday. I take their training.
Okay.
They
You
go-
coach.
No, this is fitness in the
Oh,
morning.
fitness, okay,
Yeah, the
okay.
younger lot, up to 14, 15.
Huh.
So they come, so about 10, 12 kids.
Okay.
So and 5:45 to 6:45 is their training.
Okay.
From there, they go to school. I come home, have breakfast. I leave for practice at around 9:15. So 9:30 to 12:30 is my practice.
Okay.
I come back home, have lunch.
That's 4 times a week.
Practice is every day.
Practice is every day.
Practice is every day. Training is 4 days. So
Okay.
the other 3 days, I go for my physical fitness in the morning,
Yeah.
strength training.
Okay.
So alternate.
So 1 day coaching, 1
Yeah.
day strength training.
Strength training.
And
for-
after that, practice every day.
practice is every day. And then
6 days a week.
Yeah, 6 days a week.
Sunday is off.
Sunday is off, complete off.
Okay.
And then I come back home, have lunch. So by 2 o'clock, I go back for coaching. 2 to 7 is coaching.
2 to 7 is
7,
coaching.
yeah.
Whoa, that's long. Okay.
That's also because practice gets over by 12:30.
30.
Otherwise, when we used to have the next session at PYC, it would be 12:30 practice, so 1
1
o'clock
o'clock.
start. Yeah. So this, and my house is on the way, so I don't have to carry dabba.
Okay.
Otherwise, I'll go directly. So I
Okay.
go home, have lunch, chill a bit for 10-15 minutes, and then head for coaching. So 2 to 7 is coaching, and then my day is done. At 7:15, 7:30, I'm home. 9
And-
o'clock, I'm off to bed.
Oh, 9 o'clock you're off.
I can't stay awake. I go
Long
home.
days.
Long days. I go home, have a shower, have dinner,
Yeah.
just scroll a bit, watch TV, and I'm off to bed. That's all. I can't survive after that. It's really difficult.
Yeah. And is there like a specific diet that you follow to help you fuel so many hours of coaching, so many hours of training?
So one drawback that I have is I'm a vegetarian at home. Strictly. No
Okay.
eggs also.
Okay.
So, but other than that,
And
I
outside
think
home?
I eat.
But that everybody knows.
Everybody knows.
Then it's okay. Yeah.
I'm not supposed to, but my mom doesn't approve of it yet.
Yeah.
But now I think she's made peace with eggs at least.
But she knows.
She knows.
Okay.
But
Otherwise, this podcast will be the time.
That's fine. It's okay. They know that I do this, so it's okay.
Okay.
So every time I go out with my friends, she knows now which
Yeah.
set of friends I can
Yeah,
have
yeah.
what kind of meal. So she'll ask me, what did you eat today? Earlier I used to hide. I said paneer this, paneer that. I was like, I just ate. I can't keep giving reasons every day.
Yeah.
Then I will get one long story. Where are we from? Who are we? You should know you're killing someone, this, that. I said, okay, sorry, next time it won't happen. That's the best I can do.
And
But-
what about at home? How strict are you? Or once in a while it's okay to like go off?
So at home, I think, see, being a Marwadi, we have very balanced diet. So
Okay.
lunch is like a full lunch, right from salad to buttermilk. Salad, roti, sabji, dal, rice, buttermilk. So I think it's a pretty balanced diet. And one good thing for me is I don't like fried food.
Okay.
Junk, I was never, attracted
Yeah,
to it.
yeah.
Only one thing is that I eat a lot of chocolate or like desserts
Okay.
to chocolate base. But I can control that. So once, that is set in. So lunch, dinner is not an issue. Breakfast also I try to get in as much more of dry fruits, some coffee, and maybe some poha upma, and then I go to PYC and have some eggs.
Okay.
So that's about it. I think the meals are pretty balanced.
And any supplements?
Breakthrough. Yeah, supplements. I have protein. I have some multivitamins, some magnesium.
Okay.
All of those. But other than that, I think the diet is decent.
Yeah.
And since, I can hold on to my cravings for sweet, it just makes it a little easier.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice. And any go-to cheat meal?
Anything chocolate.
Really?
Anything chocolate.
But like favorite, like what's your favorite go-to?
I can finish half a kilo chocolate cake in one go.
So chocolate cake.
And I have done that. So,
And what are, if I have to ask you, what do you think has been your biggest learning through the sport, or like the biggest moment that you've had, a realization or anything while practice, in a match, after a big win or a loss? What do you think that is for you?
So, at every phase I've had like one thing that led to the other, But, initially, I think if I'm still playing today, if I am slightly known in the circuit, is because of Sir. When I never believed and when I thought it's just not happening, he was the one who showed a lot of belief and trust in me. It's like, just stick to it. You're doing decent. You got this.
Yeah.
You'll be able to do it. Just give it a little time. Because, there was all kinds of pressure for me also.
Correct.
To live up to his expectations, my parents, seeing my colleagues do so well. And despite putting in the effort, I didn't always get the desired results. So one fine day I was like, "Okay, let's just trust this. Let's just be 100% true to ourselves and put in the work." Was one factor. And a lot of times, many losses turned out to be for the good for me. Then I was like, I'm losing to these people. They can win. And I may have lost by like 3-4 points or like a close 3-setter. It's like, if they can win, I can do it.
Correct.
That would help me come back and, be more focused and work a little more better. Traveling around to other, academies for training for a bit would be like, this is all that they do. We have so much better.
More, yeah.
We just need that extra push, that small thing that is missing. I need to find it and just work on it, which is going to, be the best for me. So over the years, I think off late, the last 2 3 years have been my best so far, the most consistent so far for me. And then now I feel, okay, I've got this. That it's not possible that every time I'm going to win, but I can evaluate my results and I know that I'm there.
Yeah,
Now I
yeah.
understand better what's missing, what I need to work on more in all aspects,
Yeah.
be it physical or the play or the mental part. So I think it just helps you get more mature the more exposure you have and the more you see around. It's just been working out well that way for me.
Yeah, yeah. So I think two great things that you mentioned is your loss in a game is not treated as a loss,
Yeah.
but it's treated as a lesson.
Yeah.
And I think every time you lose, you have to assess why,
Yes.
and you learn something from
Correct.
it. At the same time, you also need a support system to help you
Absolutely.
deal with that loss,
Yeah.
especially in an individual game.
Yeah.
In a team game, the
Team
team
game.
loses, so you
Yeah.
have each other.
Yeah.
But individual games, very, very difficult to deal with a loss.
Correct.
And then you need to have a
Yeah,
coach.
because as soon as you
And
use like this is not working, I
correct.
just need to quit. I don't
Yeah.
want to play anymore.
Yeah,
Is
yeah.
all that
It's
then
not
it keeps
working.
spiraling. It just keeps spiraling the wrong way.
Yeah, yeah.
So okay, the more you talk or just be calm and think, fine, for 2 3 hours you are going to feel that
Yeah,
acceptable.
yeah.
But
Or even for 2 3 days for that
yeah,
matter.
yeah, for 2 3 days. But the way you come out of it,
Correct,
I
correct.
think makes the difference.
Yeah, and I think a really good coach or a mental trainer or anybody, even
Anyone.
another
Yeah,
friend
yeah,
who has a perspective to tell you, you know what,
Yeah.
this is why you lost, this
Yeah.
is what you have to work on,
Yeah.
and make sure it doesn't
Correct.
happen again.
Yeah.
And I think that is what a lot of athletes and parents at a very young, who have kids,
who
young
are
kids,
younger. Yeah,
don't understand that it's not a loss,
yeah.
it's a learning.
Yeah, they feel that every time he's losing.
Correct,
He's just
correct.
not winning. But
Yeah.
to reach to a certain level, he has won a few matches.
Correct.
Maybe it'll go step by step. Tournament to tournament, he will progress. But not every time you can expect him to play finals.
Yeah, yeah.
Player he must have beaten earlier, he might lose to him because he's also working equally hard, right?
Yeah, yeah.
So it's not. I mean, that maturity has to come to parents also, is
Yeah.
what I feel. And the younger the kids, if it comes at that age, it's just easier for the kids also, to
Correct.
cope up with everything.
Yeah. So if it wasn't badminton or if it wasn't TT, what or your income tax job, what do you
I'm
think?
happy it's not that. I'm really happy it's not that. But
What do you think you would be doing?
I think I wouldn't have ever been able to do a 9 to 5 for sure.
Okay.
With the 2 years, I knew that this desk job,
Not for-
I'm
not for
not
you.
meant for this.
Okay.
Maybe I would have found out some way through the sport to do something.
In
or-
badminton.
Yeah, possibly.
Okay, okay.
Now that I am stuck, or it would have been TT, I don't know.
Okay.
But for now, badminton, yes. Or maybe I think some kind of teaching is, what I feel inclined to in some sort. So maybe something of that kind.
Okay. Okay. But teaching related to the sport or just any kind of teaching.
If really I was so done with badminton, then I think I wouldn't have got back
Back
into
into
it.
it.
So yeah, maybe something else.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I never, felt the need to actually think that what next if not badminton. I was just too much into it. Or any sport. If you tell me I can watch tennis for hours, watch cricket for hours, I watch TT, I can watch basketball. Only sport that I can't watch is football.
Okay. Okay.
I mean, I don't want to say it out
Yeah.
loud, but yeah, that's I can't see so many people running after one
One
ball
ball.
for 90 minutes.
yeah.
I'm like, no. So I'm not a fan of running.
Okay.
So that does not work out.
So you don't watch rugby either.
Rugby not much. But
no.
आपल्याकडे तेवढं अजून अवेअरनेसच
नाहीये.
नाहीये
हा,
so no.
हा,
But athletics I love watching.
Yeah, yeah.
I have fun watching athletics. So I can just sit in front of the TV for hours just watching some sport. So I think I would have figured something out in the sport only. Some
Okay.
way or the other.
Yeah, yeah.
But I'm happy I'm still playing. So
Yeah.
I like it that way.
And I think you've also found your thing,
Yeah.
like a good balance between the coaching,
Yeah.
the playing.
Yeah.
I think there is a certain level of consistency that you've had
Yeah.
in both, and that's probably why you are moving up the rankings
Probably.
also,
Yeah.
where you've just found what works for you,
Yeah.
and you're sticking to it.
Yeah.
How much does your routine change on season, off season? Do you kind of focus more on strength and endurance when it's off season?
Yeah.
You do.
Because once the circuit starts, it's very hectic and it's a lot of tournaments back to back.
A lot of travel also.
Travel also, so
Yeah.
also with age catching up, I need to take care of my body more. So the more work I can put in off season is, I try to get that in, try to get stronger as much, because in season it's not possible to build up on the strength.
Correct,
So
correct.
I'll try to do more of the maintenance, or just the conditioning part, or more replicate the game moves or the game related aspect during in season.
Okay, okay. And anything specific that you do for recovery?
Yeah, off late I have started. All these years it was just too casual. But yeah, once a week is my target, that I'll go in for a release.
Okay.
Check whatever the niggles through the week might be, I aim for an ice bath.
Okay.
But even if in midweek I feel, say like Wednesday, Thursday, that something is really bothering me, I will go get it fixed.
So what do you mean by get it fixed? What do you usually do?
Cupping, acupuncture, manual release.
Okay,
So,
okay.
and if it's not that big every day, every night I try to just release with the gun that
Yeah,
I have.
yeah.
So, some sort, I feel it is really important. Swimming, some pool sessions, I can see the difference. I can feel it. It never gave importance to it earlier, but also again, never had that kind of access or
Yeah,
say
yeah.
people with me. But now that I have, it really helps and yeah, makes sense.
I think also that maturity kicks in,
Yeah,
where you're not just pushing hard every day,
correct.
and you have to kind of understand that if you want a long career,
Yeah.
you also need to take care of your body.
Yeah,
Where you see so many athletes just training hard every single day, going very, very hard.
Yeah.
It's amazing to see that through your injuries, you found that balance.
Yeah.
And you've had that maturity where, okay, you know that today I don't need to go that hard.
correct.
And if I don't play hard for one day,
I mean, I'm not going to forget
yeah,
badminton.
yeah, it's not going to affect me as much.
as much.
Yeah.
Yes.
So I think it takes a level of maturity and understanding of body and mind.
Yeah, I mean, because I think what happens with most athletes is they see the other people doing so much
Correct.
that they feel they are lacking somewhere,
Yeah.
or they are not going to be able to match. But I think now, earlier we used to say the harder you work, the better. But I think now it's shifted to smart. The
Smart.
smarter you work, the better it is. You don't always have to keep working hard.
Correct.
It's
Correct.
just combined effort of
Yeah.
hard work and smart work
Yeah, and
that
you
is
just-
going to make the difference.
You need to find what works for you.
Yeah.
Not necessarily
exactly.
it's somebody else's routine, or
Yeah.
you need to replicate something.
Correct.
Yeah, yeah, makes sense. And any pre-game routine to kind of get you into the zone?
So yeah, I mean, if I'm playing a morning match, I'll get up around 2.5 hours before. I get into some rolling, some mobility activations, and once I'm on court, I'm not a person who likes to listen to music, because I feel that goes with me on court, and half my focus is on singing the
music.
song that's playing or see what's going on.
Yeah.
And then also then I feel talking too much distracts me. I just lose sight of what I am here for. So I
Okay.
just try to be by myself. So I don't go more than 40 minutes before my match on court, on venue also, because there are a lot of distractions.
Yeah.
So most of my warm up I like to do in my room.
Room.
I finish most of it in my room. The running part is where I will go and do it on the court. So that's how I follow it.
And any superstitions that you follow?
I like not to have any, but of course it's not possible.
Yeah.
So I used to have a lot of them before. but
Like what? Give me a couple of examples.
I will. So my wristband and my t-shirt, it's a set. If I
Okay.
wear this, the wristband has to be that.
Really?
It has to be that.
Same color.
It
Matching.
I have a set made. Yeah, it's a majority same color.
So how many
It has to
wristbands do you
match.
have?
Oh, I have a dozen more than that. From Decathlon once I got 20 wristbands
Okay.
because just for the shades I
Yeah,
needed.
yeah.
So that used to be one. I used to follow a set of clothes also. Monday this, Tuesday this, Wednesday this. I said no, this is not happening. I stopped that. But some I do follow.
Yeah.
But I like not to because it sticks to my head.
Okay.
Then the side of the court, I'm very choosy about. If I lose the toss, I can't do anything. Then I'm like, shit, today to gone. I'm not going to be able to play. I like to knock also from a particular side of the court, the knocking that we do.
Before the match.
Yeah, so I always like to do it from my backhand side, not my forehand side.
Now, for your opponents listening,
It's
they know.
fine. And now I've become, so that's why I've become flexible and I was like, it's fine if it doesn't happen.
Yeah.
If it happens, well and good. Because then, you just tend to hold on so much onto it
Correct.
It's
Correct.
a plus and a minus. If it happens, you just get that boost initially. Okay, आज सब अच्छा हो रहा है. You'll be done. You're set.
Correct. Correct.
But if it doesn't, it plays the negative role also.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I try as much as not to think too much.
Yeah.
Let it go with the flow. But yeah.
Okay. Okay.
So like even mid game, if my kit is like this and I'm not winning, I will flip it. Again, if I go to even while changing sides, if I'm leading and I went first, but now I'm losing,
Yeah.
I will not change side first. I will let the person go and then I will change. So it's a lot of things. So I was like, we shouldn't be doing all of this.
Those are a lot of things.
There are
Yeah,
a lot.
yeah,
Like
yeah.
the way I tie my lace,
Yeah.
that is also a thing.
Okay.
So one shoe is like this, the other has to be
Like
like this.
this,
Both will be same sometimes, both will be tied also differently at times. Which I tie first is also a thing. Oh god, I used to have a lot of them. And if I start following one through the tournament, if it works, then I'll follow.
Follow that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But so
But I
it's-
think a lot of athletes
Yeah,
do
it's
that.
not very specific every time.
Correct,
How I
correct.
keep my bottle,
Yeah.
which color my towel has to be. Oh my god,
Yeah,
I have a
it's-
lot of things. I prefer not to add.
Okay. Okay. Nice. And if I have to ask you, like, one thing which you have found to be the most challenging for you for your sport, what do you think it is?
For me, would have been initially staying up with the lot, matching the lot.
So competition? Competition is
Some
one thing.
part is competition, of course. People from my batch have stopped playing. So now for me to compete, I'm competing with like 20, 22-year-olds, 18-year-olds. So one is that, like mainly because recovery counts
Correct.
in that kind. Other things is still manageable, your game, your pace, all of those things you can do. But for me, one part is, to be able to match them.
Okay. Okay. And if there was, one piece of advice that you would give to your younger self, either when you started, when you were 6 or 7, or when you kind of refound that passion for badminton when you were 15, 16, what would it be? What would you tweak or change at that time so that you would have way better results than what you have now?
So even for everyone out there who's still trying to make their way up, one important thing is you have to have the self-confidence. You keep your patience, be hungry. And of course have the passion and the drive. The more you analyze by yourself, the more you realize on your own, things are going to work much more better and faster. I mean, people, how much ever they tell you, if you are not going to accept or you just don't get what they're trying to say, it's taking you nowhere.
Yep, yep.
So I think self-confidence, patience, the belief that you need to have, and the drive.
Yeah.
I feel drive is very important. That the kids who want to pursue should have patience also. And you can't just say I'm playing for 5 years, I have to win. It's not
Yeah.
possible.
It doesn't happen. There's no
It
guarantee.
doesn't happen.
There's no guarantee.
I won my first title last year. I mean, I have been winning, but my first singles state title, I've won doubles, n number of doubles, I've played n number of finals, I've almost won. But that feeling of, I have the title to my name is just a different feeling.
Yeah, yeah. And now you started when you were 6
Yeah,
and you're 30
30.
and you won last year. Yeah, so
Yeah.
almost 25 years.
25 years the wait. But
Yeah.
I'm telling you, it's worth it.
Of course,
It's absolutely worth it.
Yeah.
I mean, I kept playing finals every time. I lost one finals from match point. 2018,
Oh,
third game.
yeah, yeah.
I have lost matches which have gone into post 20 all in finals. I have lost to higher ranked players being leading. So, I mean, everything just came up, but that one title which was missing. I played my first national final in 2019, singles in 2019. I played doubles n number of finals. I've played semis. Like, there would be no other player who must have played so
As many
semis.
semis. Yeah, yeah.
I have just been there, just circling around. But that switch that happened, the feeling is just something
Yeah,
else.
yeah.
And then after that, the results just kept getting better. They just kept flowing because it gives you a different perspective, a different self-confidence
Yeah,
altogether. So just a lot of things change, I think, after that.
Nice.
Yeah.
But I'm sure the journey must have been amazing.
Yeah. I mean, now that I
And-
look back, like, the good and the bad, of course. I was like, I was so stupid to think that way or to have done that. Or, if I would have done even the good things in a different way, it would have been so much better,
Yeah,
probably.
yeah.
But then I always say I'm just more than happy to have all the support that I've had. Unknowingly, my parents have supported me a lot. Like, on my face, they did always tell me, we will not let you play this, that, but they never stopped me.
Correct.
I mean, they like, fine, do what you want.
Yeah,
You figure
yeah.
it out, you do what you need to. You want to go, you figure how you have to go. You take the effort, you learn it your way. So they never said, okay, pack your bags, they'll be gone now, you can't go.
Correct,
So
correct.
that was not there. They, of course, it was their concern. We want you to do something else, this, that, everything.
Yeah.
But it was always there. But
What's the next big goal or aim? What's next?
next, see now, this next 2-3 years, we have Commonwealth coming up, Asians coming up. That's the immediate target. Thomas Uber coming up will be happening. One is make it officially India. Second is be officially number one in the country.
Correct.
Win a few national titles. It
That's
will be
not-
a good.
I don't think that's
end.
too far though.
It's not. So I've been playing finals, just a
Yeah.
thing here and there. So let's hope this year makes it better.
Yeah, yeah.
And
Definitely.
We'll be there soon. Yeah.
Nice, nice.
Yeah, one immediate target I would have is breaking into the top 100 of the world also. So let's see.
And what's the current?
Current I'm at 293.
Okay.
So I played 3 tournaments. So from 850 I've come to 293. So I
Yeah.
think it's not a very far-fetched target. In a year end I feel it's possible. The higher I get, I think I can play more of the higher ranked tournaments, which will also give me some different kind of exposure and experience.
Correct.
So if not, of course, targeting Olympics is very unrealistic. So whatever is possible with the time I have, very realistically just aim for it, look for it. And I'm not going to say that I want to play my first 500 and win it.
Correct,
Again,
correct.
just go there, take a feeler, get the experience,
Yeah.
get the aura. It's going to be something very different.
Different. Yeah. Nice, nice.
Yeah.
All the best.
Thank you.
All the best for all of those goals.
Yes.
And hopefully India number one very, very soon.
Very soon.
Yeah, very soon.
So now the next tournament.
Hopefully
yeah.
before I post this podcast,
When are you posting it?
after your India number one.
Done. So July, see, 8 July to 14 July is Pune All India. If I win that, I'm India number one.
Okay.
So
okay.
we have
So I have to post after 18th. 14th.
14th of
14th,
July.
huh?
Yeah.
Okay, okay.
So if we are Pune All India starts,
Yeah.
if I keep doing well, you can go ahead.
Nice.
So we can have India number one and the podcast together.
Okay, so before we finish, what I usually do is I have the athletes rate their sport.
Okay.
Okay, so there are 10 different criterias. So it's each criteria is out of 10. So whatever you think the score for badminton is, your perspective,
Yeah.
you have to just give that to me.
Sure.
So badminton, what do you think? Endurance out of 10, how much will you rate endurance?
7,
Strength,
8.
more strength than endurance.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've put speed and power together.
9. Goes higher than everything else.
Mobility, flexibility,
To 7 and 8, I think.
I think a 7.
Yeah.
Agility.
10 has to be.
So those were the 5 physical aspects: endurance, strength, speed, power, mobility, agility. The technical or the mental aspect, one is skill or learning curve of the game. How much skill do you need in terms of badminton?
8.
Certain sports have a lot of contact. MMA, wrestling, boxing, there is hardcore contact. And then there are certain other sports where there is shock going into the body, like tennis or cricket, where there is a lot of shock that goes
Yeah.
into the body. So, how much would you rate badminton? In both, in terms of contact, I think is 0.
Contact is 0.
But,
Contact is down when you dive. But
Yeah, yeah.
it's just
but
that
or
much.
like when you are jumping,
No.
lot of
But it's very quick.
impact
No, yeah, it's
going
agile
into-
and very quick though. So you're not.
pounding.
There is there is
Yeah.
no hard contact as
Okay.
such. So whatever, I think it's like a lot of soft contact.
Okay.
So 5, 6, because again, this is your every time you are hitting also
yeah.
is you're absorbing some
Yeah.
kind of force.
What are the chances of injury?
6, I think, yeah.
6. What about body composition?
If you have to keep a balance, I think 6 should be good. 6 to 7.
7.
Yeah.
Sports that happen in the outdoors where external factors play a big role.
Yeah. Again, humidity.
Mm-hmm.
If it's big halls, if you're playing in an AC hall, the drift plays a big role.
And is there a lot of change in direction of the shuttle?
Noticeable difference is there.
Okay.
So one side there is sideways drift, there is front back drift. Front back will just make the shuttle travel faster or slow,
Correct.
but sideways the shuttle is just this way
Yeah,
or
yeah.
like just this way, which is a little difficult to gauge. So it does make a difference. But again, if you're playing like just like state national level, environmental factors not as much, but again, if it's too hot, it's going to be too hot inside because it's covered. Not
Correct,
enough
correct.
ventilation
Yeah.
is one part
Yeah.
that will
I
have.
think humidity is what will affect your
Humidity,
physical
yeah. Correct.
performance the most.
Yes.
I don't think other than that you'll have other environmental
No.
factors affecting.
No.
So maybe like a 5.
5.
5 is what we'll give.
Yeah.
Okay, so we have a total out of 100, a 72. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for
Thank you
having
for
me.
giving me time on a Sunday, on your off day.
I finished my sleep, so I'm fine.
Yeah, and to being India number one very, very soon.
Very soon.
Yes. Awesome. Thank you.
Thank you.